are greatly exaggerating the power consumption. But I think the bigger point they're making is a lot of computer resources that could otherwise be doing good work somewhere in the world are being diverted to the guessing of random numbers. And wouldn't it be better if the work in the proof of work system in mining, wouldn't it be better if that work could be useful to society, like doing weather forecasting or cancer research or something like that, anything that requires a lot of parallel processing? Or is there maybe a better way besides proof of work? And there's other systems being proposed such as proof of stake, proof of space, proof of importance, which are interesting. And it looks like even Ethereum may be transitioning to proof of stake, and many of the other coins being designed or tweaking or even junking altogether the proof of work for some alternative. I think this is one of the main design issues facing the whole area. Is proof of work really the best and only way to go about it? I don't think you'll ever have the problem, though, of Bitcoin soaking up all the energy in the world. If this ever became a real issue, that there was so much demand for electricity, the price of energy would go up and the market would clear where supply would equal demand. And for people to say it's not socially useful, I think we could make this criticism of teenagers playing video games of many
Our best
uses.
and brightest are at Facebook and not at NASA now. I mean, we could make the same argument.
Yeah.
But isn't what you're saying somewhat of an endorsement of altcoins versus Bitcoin? Because altcoins, the human capital going in, or the IQ energy going into that, have some underlying intrinsic value, versus mining Bitcoin is just chasing the reward.
I think Bitcoin was an extremely clever combination of a verification protocol, the proof of work, with a database technology, which is the blockchain, and the use of financial incentives to draw people onto the network or cause them to leave at the right time. So it's a really clever combination of technology and incentives, but it was a first cut at an extremely ambitious problem. And you've seen in the 9 years since Bitcoin went live, a ton of innovation. I think this will continue for the foreseeable future. So the fact that bright young people are working for some of these other startups looking to improve on this is what makes ultimately innovation and economic growth occurs, when smart people invest their human capital in solutions to important problems. And I think it's exactly what you're seeing here. It's a great example of people responding to signals from the marketplace, and markets allocating resources, both physical and human, in ways that you really couldn't do nearly as well through any kind of central planning or rules-based system.
And as someone who studies this, which of the coins have an underlying technology that you are most bullish on?
What I can tell you from the history of tech innovation is that these things tend to get overtaken pretty quickly. That even if you and I could identify the best token today, somebody could come up with something better 6 months from now. There are no barriers to entry. We saw this with the internet with things like the browser wars, where people would get a hold on the market briefly, but in the end, innovation by outsiders will make their product shrink away. Look at how Yahoo was overtaken in search by Google. You look at the music business with iTunes and then Spotify, that more clever platforms come into use almost without warning, and they don't really require a lot of capital to get going. They just require excellent design. So given the number of people who are active in this space, I think the best coins have not yet been invented. That you're going to see a lot of enhancement in product improvements, probably for the foreseeable future.
Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, or Netflix, who foots best in terms of their business to issuing a coin? If you'd heard one of these companies, but you didn't know which one, had issued a coin, which one would you guess it would be?
I would guess it would be Amazon, because they're moving into retail so aggressively that it just seems like a natural platform to have Amazon coin that could be used to shop at Whole Foods or at the online bookstore, at the same time giving the customers a stake in the business, that if Amazon ends up ruling the world, their Amazon tokens will be more and more valuable. So private currencies, dedicated to companies, this started with video gaming. And there are all these World of Warcraft games that have internal economies where the tokens actually trade outside the game. You could replicate this easily with Amazon and Facebook, and it's a little bit of a puzzle that they haven't. So, large numbers of users and a variety of retail platforms seem to be the optimal conditions for this to become valuable.
So finally, tell us about the t-shirt.
This is hold on for dear life. This is the investment mantra, that it's a wild ride to own these assets. So you really have to feel like you're riding a roller coaster. And this is the Ethereum token symbol here.
So that wasn't produced by.
Great interview. If you guys have a chance, I liked it on the cryptocurrency, this news page. You can watch the entire interview, but lots of great information. And this last segment is probably the best, just talking about the evolution of cryptocurrencies, and a really good point where I'm surprised Amazon hasn't created a cryptocurrency. That is a great point. I mean, when they were bringing this up, I immediately was like, Amazon. I mean, it is interesting, and I'm sure, this is going to become outdated, because I'm sure in the future Amazon and a lot of these companies they mentioned will have cryptocurrency. But the evolution of cryptocurrency and the idea of proof of stake, proof of work, and some of these other concepts, really important, guys, that you understand this stuff if you're going to invest in cryptocurrency, especially in a market like this where we are holding on for dear life. And it's been a terrible 3 months, very unfortunate. Obviously, if you invested a year ago, you're still up 400 or 500%. So this is just for the newcomers into this market. So the best thing you can do is subscribe to this channel, learn about the emerging technologies, learn more about cryptocurrency, and when you feel comfortable, obviously invest, and hopefully invest at the bottom of the market, not the top of the market. And hopefully that's a lesson for everyone who decided to buy in January, February, December. Buy in small amounts, do dollar cost averaging, so that if you do get wiped out, or if the price does go down significantly, you can buy the dip with dollar cost averaging. But let me know what you guys think. I was really glad to share this interview. I had to break it up to numerous pieces, so if you don't want to listen to my analysis, feel free to look at their entire interview. But I broke it up into clips. I think I will do future interviews like this, especially I really like these guys. I mean, that's why they go to NYU. They're both business school professors at NYU. If you don't know anything about me, I actually have my master's in business administration, my MBA, at University of Southern California. Definitely not as prestigious as NYU, and you can definitely tell because I actually went to some cryptocurrency event and I had guest speakers there that were amazing at USC. But NYU definitely at another level, especially being in New York, right next to the financial capital of the world. So it's great that they share this stuff, and it would be really nice if my alma mater would do something like this too on YouTube and share information, and then I can provide some analysis. But thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you guys soon.